Hey everyone, it's LunArx. Welcome back to Calamity Hard Mode. I don't really have a game plan for today. I'm just gonna kind of play and see what I can find. Like a gold bird. I have found the hollow. And a sandstorm. Hollow sandstorm. This is gonna be fine. Oh, yes. So the good news is that... Ha! Check it out right away. Hollow pylon. That wasn't the good news. The good news is that unlike the new vein of Crimson that has spawned, if this goes onto an existing house, my NPCs can still live here. They cannot live in Crimson. How about you step inside, Sarah? Silk cane. That's new. Wait, this does rogue damage. Oh, it's like the Psycho Knife. I kind of like that. If I'm completely stealthed and I just go pow and thing is dead. I think this is hard mode. I didn't see this when I interacted with Sarah before. Here we have some non-desert. Oh boy, non-desert hollow. I never noticed that the tavern keeper is named Sloth. That's pretty cool. My fractured arc has a bar under it to show how many attacks I've made since parrying, since that's an important part of the parry mechanic. Beetlejuice. What? Okay, it was dropped from a beetle. I'm really enjoying the fractured arc. It seems to work well, even against hard mode enemies. Oh, heck yeah. Got a sand elemental. These are vanilla, of course, but they have more usage. Ah! They have more usage in Calamity. What they drop does. Sandstorm is over, but the sand elemental is still attacking. Oh, and evil crimson sharks. That's nice as well. There we go, and it drops something else as well. Guarding elemental in a bottle, rare elemental in a bottle, and of course forbidden fragment, which is vanilla. No, you're about to die. Jeez, purpling. See, this was what I was most afraid of, right here. I hadn't built a trench yet to keep the Crimson away from my ocean. Hopefully I can cleanse the right side of this soon, before I end up with just a Crimson Ocean. Crimson Beach, Crimson Ocean. I like the knockback of my... the knockback. Pickaxe. When hard mode starts, suddenly the spread of Crimson and corruption becomes a lot faster. And that's why already it was spreading across the half of a hole, half of a trench that I had dug. That's probably fine. That, however, is not fine. What do you got, Edgar? The clothier. He sells a golden key. That is convenient. I like that. Amidius sells the truffle worm. That is very interesting. I could fight Duke Fishron right now if I wanted to, which I don't because I would die. Hello, Amidius. The corruption is spreading just a little bit over there. So instead of dealing with it, I'm going to talk to you for a while. Ah, if only you could have seen the beauty of a kingdom submerged in water. The way the light refracted and shone over our coral homes. I would recommend saving some of your old items. You never know if you can engineer them into stronger weapons in the future. Truer words have not been said about Calamity. Some of the weakest items in the game will go into bigger things. So many things go into bigger things. Bigger and better and bigger and better, and it just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding. If you take an idol down to the Brimstone Crags, you might be able to see just what is lurking in the shadows. An idol? Like a guide voodoo doll, or what? As a Führer, the city founded in the Brimstone Crags was one of the first places to support Yarim in his war. Yarim. Important name. Now, it is nothing more than ruins. Just what happened there? If you've gathered the souls used to power those automatons, head once more to the jungle. You will find a powerful enemy to fight, which will unleash the full fervor of the jungle once defeated. Do not underestimate it. Okay, is that related to Wolfram stuff? And is it related to the Plague Bringer or whatever the scary robotic plague bee boss in the jungle is? Be careful when defeating Plantera and the Golem. You might accidentally unleash a new threat in the jungle that needs to be quelled. I believe that is the plague thing. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Random fact, a lot of people pronounce this word wrong. They say Gollum, like from The Lord of the Rings. That's not what a golem is. They are not Gollum. It's shocking that you could not hear the sound of my massive glasses being pushed further up my nose, saying that. When exploring the jungle temple, be careful. You may not wish to disturb the lizard's idol, the golem. It's quite the destructive force. Is it? It's always been kind of an underwhelming boss, at least in vanilla. Maybe they've buffed it. Have you ever heard of the Archmage Permafrost? Once an advisor to Yarim, he one day vanished, and Calamitas abandoned Yarim's cause soon after. From what I know, Permafrost was akin to a father to her. Perhaps, if she had something to do with his disappearance, he may yet live? Now, 3 important names are in this bit of lore. Permafrost was the one Calamity NPC that I forgot to mention in the other episode. He, like Amidius, is his own character with a crap ton of health. I don't remember how to get him, but we get him sometime in hard mode. Yarim, I could never figure out who Yarim is through the lore of this game. I feel like just enough information is withheld to ever have an actual understanding of who Yarim is, at least in my personal experience. I tried to look it up on a wiki once, but there was not much information. There was a lot of information on a wiki for a roleplay based on Calamity, and there was a lot of information about Yarum in that, but it didn't seem like something that should be considered official canon to Calamity, so I kept it in mind, but it is dubious canon at best. Yarum, to my understanding, is a great tyrant who's tied into the lore of a lot of characters in this game, but is never seen in this game. He's not a boss, he's just an important figure in the lore. And a lot of other characters and bosses' lore pertain to him in some way. I believe he's some sort of demigod. I feel like references to deities and some of the past bits of lore that we've had may have been referring to Yarum, but again, not enough pieces of the puzzle are given to understand who Yarum is. Maybe that will change. Maybe I will, through this playthrough, find enough information that will make me understand this part of the lore, but it really feels like they've kept the lore around this character vague on purpose. And then you have Calamitas, who is another very important character in the lore, whom I also don't know a whole lot about. I understand that she has been expanded upon more since I last played this game, and there are also 2 different boss fights that pertain to her. The first is a clone, I believe. I'm not sure. But you can probably guess that she's important to the lore due to her name being Calamitas in the mod called Calamity. Anyhow, this is interesting. And he would also recommend, again, saving some of my old items. Even more of my old items, I suppose. It's fun to see that there's finally new lore from Amidius. Summons a sand elemental to fight for you. Summons a sand elemental to heal you. Smiley face. I think you can combine these. Okay, with some other things. So elemental in a bottle, rare elemental in a bottle, Pearl of Enthrallment, Eye of the Storm, and Rosestone. These all seem to be related to elementals. These are both sand elementals, water, cloud, and brimstone. I believe all these things are hard mode drops. And then you can get the Heart of the Elements, which I do recall this. It's very cool. You just summon this whole group, this party of elementals that will buff you and heal you and fight for you. Looking forward to that. Death Valley Duster. I am going to try and get this because I remember loving this. Primordial Ancient, Primordial Earth. So the Death Valley Duster goes into Primordial Earth, which goes into Primordial Ancient, which goes into something else. I don't know what Relic of Ruin is. The Clockwork Assault Rifle, I don't think goes into anything in vanilla, but in this it combines with the Gatligator and a new item called the Venus Magnum, along with Life Alloy, to make the Clock Gatlignum. I love some of the names of items in this mod. Hey, the Pwn Hammer actually goes into something. The Pwnage Hammer. Amazing. So I know this is hard mode time. However, there is something new I discovered that I actually forgot to show you last time. You remember how before I explored all the way to the left side of the world in the sky, looking for the Skylab? Well, it turns out it was like 2 feet to the right. So yeah, I discovered this. I didn't visit it, because I wanted to come here while recording. But, yep. Oh bother, it's been a bit. So just so you know, I am still using the shield. I just had it turned off visually for a bit. I'm gonna take these. What are these? Charging stations. I'm just gonna take the loot this time because I have the inventory space. These doors are glitched. Sometimes destroying stuff near them destroys them and then they turn into two. So, rip. Hello there, Draydon. What do you have to say now? To any personnel engaged in the laboratories, please wear your steel-engraved ID badge at all times. It is the easiest method to discern your body if any accidents do occur. I think that's not anything different from what you said at the other place. I feel like I learned somewhere that you can destroy these. You just have to mine at them for a while. There we go. And it drops some good resources. This is clearly, yeah, see, you walk through that thing and it puts 2 of the doors in your inventory. You might want to troubleshoot these doors a bit more, Calamity team. So I can't use these stations until I mine them up. That's interesting. There were some things that I left at the other lab because I didn't know they were important necessarily. What's in the chests? A lot of stuff. Planter boxes. I don't know why, but I'll take it. Once I figure out how to use the seeking mechanisms, I can use this to find the one in the jungle. Okay, we have some things here. Study log, new schematic, prototype plasma drive core. Despite all the time it spent in storage, its furnace still burns strong. I don't know what that is, but I'm excited to find out. This music is really nice. Probably even more so that it's not drowning me out like last time. How many? Yeah, it's quite a few power cells just in the one of these things that I have set up here. So I have a feeling this is a resource you are supposed to get a lot of. You can also put it in an extractinator. Okay, what does it give you if you put it in an extractinator? Because I got this finally some time ago. Oh, it's just like... Okay, it's like silt, but it can also give you these other items. Okay. Prototype plasma drive core combines with suspicious scrap and any mithril bars to make the SHPC. 18 magic damage is not a lot of damage, but it seems pretty powerful. And it has a second function if you right click that fires a powerful beam or multiple powerful beams, I don't know. So maybe we'll check that out. So this new schematic, I can't actually decrypt yet. So I can't yet learn the items that the schematic would unlock for me. So I'll just drop this in lore there. This is lovely, yes. I like how the corruption is spread. The crimson, rather. Very nice. Hello. I really need to start using buff potions. Titan Heart. Here's the edge. So, that was the astral biome. I don't know if it's called anything more than just astral. I feel like it is, but I don't know for certain. Saw some interesting new things and some epic new music. Interesting, your parry is saved after you die. I wonder if that is intentional design or just an oversight caused by this being a fan-made mod. What can Stardust make? Fallen stars, that's cool. Meld construct using meld blobs. I don't know what that is. Comet shard. Permanently increases maximum mana by 50. And I can make this. That's cool. Astral bar. Once I get some astral ore, however I do that. Astral beacon summons Astraeum Deus in exchange for specific offerings. This is a boss summon item. Astrum Deus, meaning God of the Stars in Latin. I'm thinking back to my high school Latin classes. I feel like that wouldn't be the correct form for God of the Stars. I feel like that would be Deus Astrae? Or Astrae Deus? But what do I know? It's been years. I never finished the curriculum. I never learned it conversationally. So who even knows? It means star god, god of the stars. We'll get to that later. Okay, astral monolith, which is the stuff that we got from the trees in the astral biome. It acts as wood to make candelabras, candles, chandeliers, when combined with stardust. Astral injection gives mana sickness and hurts you when used, but you regenerate mana extremely quickly even while moving or casting spells. That's interesting. It's a magic steroid needle. Like, it hurts and it's not good for you, but you're really good for 5-second duration. Yeah, interesting. You probably get an item that lets you cast it more easily than physically using it in your hotbar. I don't know for sure though. Astral Chunk summons Astrum Aureus when used in the Astral Infection during nighttime. Astral Infection must be the name of the biome. And rages during the day. Aureus. I don't know what Aureus means. Or Aureus, depending on how you would say it, because you're not speaking Latin. I'll have to look that up. Clearly that's another boss. Summons Astraeum Deus at the astral beacon, but is not consumed and rages during the day. So this is a more traditional summon item. Biome Blade. This has some interesting mechanics. I'm not going to read through that right now. You can if you would like. The Auralis. 729 range damage. Nothing to it. Just an upgrade of the sniper rifle. This is an interesting bar right here. I never knew how to pronounce this, and you don't either. To me, this is the Bloom bar. Bloom bar. I sound like I'm having a stroke. 2 of my grandparents died because of strokes. Probably wasn't from reading that word. Prideful Hunter's Planar Ripper. Listen. This game has a lot of items. Radiant Star. I want this. Whatever it is. Sounds like an epic rogue weapon. Lunic Eye and Starstruck Water. A lot of stuff. What's a Titan Heart? It goes into a set of armor. Ooh, this is a rogue set. Ooh. You know I'm gonna have to make this. And I can make this. That's a massive upgrade in defense. Look at this set. Isn't that cool? What's the set bonus? More damage and knockback, more maximum stealth. Stealth strikes deal double knockback and cause an astral explosion, and grants immunity to knockback. That's nice. Well, cool. Statogel armor was cool for a few minutes. An episode or so. I have moved on. Final thing before we go. We have some new lore. Low Orbit Study Log. Space and Soil Survey, Low Terraria Orbit. High above even the Sky Islands upheaved long ago lies a fascinating geological phenomenon. Though, unlike the islands, their airborne nature appears to have formed more naturally. I speculate that they formed long ago when the world was in its infancy, judging by soil samples I have taken while testing high-atmosphere plant growth. Perhaps these planetoids, as many refer to them as, formed via meteor strikes tossing matter high into the atmosphere. This would simultaneously explain many geological oddities I have found on the world's surface. It's interesting that this game tries to give an in-game physics explanation for why there are these planetoids way up in the sky. Travel between worlds is a fascination of mine. The planets within reasonable distance to this provide no use to me in terms of materials or study opportunities they could provide. And so I wish to go further beyond this mere cluster of planets someday. It will likely take many more decades of technological progress. However, as travel between worlds would take years even at the maximum speed physical matter can currently go, perhaps I will find a way to shatter this limit once this world holds my interest no longer. Well, interestingly, some things from out there, perhaps another planet, or just elsewhere in space have found their way here, and it's rather apt that I have come across this lore in the same episode as that. A request from Yaram has been delivered, an inquiry to create a suit of armor for the serpent that has joined his forces recently, the Devourer of Gods, as the serpent calls himself. I just got this huge grin on my face. He is a bothersome yet fascinating being, and he has the best freaking boss music I've ever heard too. And so I have taken the opportunity so that I may learn more of his home dimension. Using materials from his place of origin, I have forged armor of immense size and durability, yet extreme flexibility. It is currently one of the most unique materials I have worked with and has advanced my knowledge greatly. Though I have learned more than I expected to about the cosmic beast from this, perhaps more than he wished for me to. And this is a little teaser of the armor presumably worn by the Devourer of Gods. I hope that this Let's Play goes on long enough to get to that point. It will be some time, but the Devourer of Gods is memorable. I would say one of the most recognizable, iconic parts of the Calamity mod. I would say that, along with another boss that has not been mentioned in lore, so I will not bring it up. Well, not directly been mentioned in lore. And then, of course, Calamitas. And I guess perhaps Draydon now, too, now that he has become a prominent part of the game lore. Anyway, next time we will likely fight some of the mechanical bosses, or I will finally just explore the underworld for the first time. We'll see how things go. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you later.